right, everybody. Here we are. We're live. Corona Chronicles, lockdown, day 33. Here we go. Let me get the streams up here. Let's see here. All right. Wow, Facebook just does not want to cooperate this morning. Let's see if I can get the stream going here. All right, it's on, but really can't see anybody yet. So hope you're out there. Going to see if the LinkedIn feed is now live. Always have these little hiccups up in the top here. Okay, let's see. LinkedIn going live now too. All right, got some folks out there. I see Mitch and I see Matt. Guys, do me a favor. Let me know that that you're there and you saw me and you're still seeing me. Okay, great. Mitch is telling me I'm fine. Thank you very much. All right, so hey, Corona Chronicles, lockdown day 33. What's going on out there, folks? My usual Saturday 12 noon check-in. Want to see how the community is doing. Want to see, talk to you about what's been going on, how I'm adapting to this this lockdown life. And I'm going to start with, basic necessities, right? We're making these everyday adaptations, I'm going to call them. If anybody saw or Zoomed with me last week or maybe saw some pictures, you would see that I had like the 1985, like John Gotti pushback, real greaseball Italian hair look because it was just so long. Take a look now. Let me get this mic out of the way. How's that? I got a freshie. How did I get it? Most people are going to ask, right? So if you know me, you'll know that I joined the Marine Corps back in December of 1990, and this has pretty much been my haircut for the last 29 years. When I got back from 2 years in Japan, I came back to the States. I had 30 days in between duty stations. I was on my way to Quantico, Virginia. And when I got home to visit my mom, I was like, hey, Ma, got to get a buzz cut. Where do I go? Now, when I left Brooklyn years before that, when I had hair, I used to go to like a salon. I used to go to Rated X Salon on FUX, and I would probably pay $25 or $30 for an actual haircut. I mean, I had like the DA, the pushback. I had a little bit of a mullet going on there. Matt definitely remembers that. We were in high school together. So I certainly was not going to come back now and pay $25 for a haircut. Seemed kind of silly. So my sister actually says, hey, you know what? Why don't you go to this place? This is where my nephew, who I guess was, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old at the time. This is where my nephew, this is where I get his haircut. There's a nice girl there. She'll do a buzz for you. It's all good. So let me remind you what year this was. So this was 1994. So pretty much before cell phones were carried by everybody, unless you had like that big brick thing that looked like a World War II like crank-up phone. So she writes it down on a piece of paper. I hop in my mother's Honda Accord and I drive over to the address and I get out of the car and I look up at the sign and I look down at the paper and I look up again and I look down again and I go, oh man, Kids Plus, what am I in for here? So I walk in and of course I saw what you expected I would see. The horsey chair, the race car chair. Oh, and then the blonde back there in the Daisy Dukes. Excuse me, are you Maria? Winner. So yeah, absolutely, that was Maria. She gave me a buzz cut, and I knew about 6 minutes in that this was probably going to be the woman I spend the rest of my life with. And for you, those of you who know us, if this lockdown doesn't get her to absolutely stick a knife in me, and I make it to August 18th, we will have we will celebrate our 25th anniversary together, married. So that's my haircut story. So I was able to somehow persuade her this week to take me out in the backyard, break out the old buzzer and do my hair, because she hasn't been doing my hair for about the last 10 years. She turned me loose onto the barbershop scene. And let me tell you, the barbershop scene these days is it's a real scene. You got to invest a couple of hours to go to the barbershop now. It's a whole thing we got going on with all the guys. So that's my haircut story. Everyday adaptations, as I'm calling them. Would love to know what you guys are adapting to on a daily basis. And just so you know out there, both of my feeds, both the Facebook and the LinkedIn feed, is pretty frozen. I'm not getting any of the playback. It looks like I'm getting the comments. So you know what? Do me a favor. If you're on LinkedIn right now, or if you're on Facebook right now, just, I don't know, give me a word. Give me a yes or a hi or something in the comments, just to see if they roll. I want to see if I'm getting you guys live out there. I know I'm broadcasting, just don't know if I'm getting the two-way. I'd like to have the interaction. So what else is going on? What are the other everyday adaptations that you guys are going through right now? Would love to know what those are. Let me just mute this so it doesn't come on and play my voice again. All right, so someone's out there on Facebook. I did get a hi. All right, so you guys are at least hearing me, and now I'm also seeing your comments. So that's working out. I'm getting some waves. Yeah, Matt, you definitely, you might be able to persuade Maria to cut your hair. I think she could tie a buzzer like to a stick, and maybe from about, 6, you know what, we could use like the microphone stand here. We could kind of do this, and she could buzz you and cut you up from a safe distance of 6 feet. We'll try that. Oops, sorry if that gave you guys a whole bunch of noise. All right, so it looks like I got the feedback. Again, the live is not running on my screens. I am seeing the comments. Let me say a few hellos, and then, I have like an amazing special guest today. And this just came about, like I'm always telling you about like my organic life, like what's going on in life for me. And then I just kind of relay the what's going on. So this came up in conversation this week, and I thought it was so important that I would actually bring a guest on my Corona Chronicles, which is something I don't do. Let me say some hellos. Oh, wow, there's a bunch of folks out there watching. So Maddie's out there. Hey, Matt. Steve Bonfa's there. Steve, this would be good stuff for you to hear as a trust and estates attorney. Real important information. My man, Adam, I need some technical support. You see what's going on here? I don't know. Things are freezing up. I'm plugged into the LAN cable, hardwired. It's still not working. Peter's out there also from high school. What's up, man? Kevin's out there from the neighborhood back in the day. My man, Mike Murata. Missing you, man. Haven't seen you in a long time, George Hamilton. Who else is out there? Of course, Mitch Goldberg is always there. My man, always supporting. By the way, if you're not following Mitch Goldberg on Facebook or on LinkedIn, you should do that right now. No, don't do that right now. Don't leave my stream. But as soon as we're done, you should go find him and follow him. I'll tell you why. He is the founder and chief listening officer of Client First Strategies, an investment advisory firm. He's been in the investment advisory business for 3 decades, even though he's got massive Python guns and he looks younger than most people I know. So he's taken this bull by the horns, and since day one of this crisis, he's been going live every single day at 4:30 in the afternoon on both Facebook and LinkedIn. I think YouTube also, to talk about the market. He's not like those other investment advisors, that may be hiding under their desks right now, not knowing what's going on. So you should definitely tune into Mitch. Gives out great information every day. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? I hope the girls are dancing. I know Ava's doing hers right now back there. So without any further pomp and circumstance, I'm going to go to my guest. I'm going to bring in Sylvie Richards. Sylvie is a trust and estates attorney that I've come to know over the last couple of years due to some business dealings and a business development group that we're in together in Midtown. And Sylvie, on one of our virtual meetings this week, she brought up, a really interesting, let's call it, and not an anomaly really, but I don't know, an inconsistency or a lack of capability with people's healthcare proxies right now. So I won't pretend to be an attorney, but I will tell you that 20 some odd years as an insurance advisor, you get to know about people's documents. So healthcare proxy is the document that allows someone else to make health decisions for you when you're unable to. In this climate right now, unfortunately, when people go to the hospital for coronavirus, they go by themselves. As sad as it may be, they have to go by themselves for the safety of the rest of their loved ones, of not getting, cross-contaminated at the hospital facility. So if you go to a hospital for coronavirus and you need someone to help make medical decisions for you, your proxy can't come to the hospital and execute that document. So Sylvie brought this to my attention. I'm going to bring her in right now. And here she is. Hey, Sylvie.
Hi, guys.
Good morning. How you doing? Well, it's afternoon now. So I am intrigued by this concept that, I just can't execute a healthcare proxy if I was, God forbid, in the hospital right now.
Yeah.
I know you've been blocking and tackling on this since the beginning of the crisis. What's going on? Talk to us. Tell us, how do we fix this? What can we do?
So it's been an interesting development because, as you know, most people who execute a healthcare proxy appoint an agent so that that agent can speak to the medical professionals, the doctors, the hospitals, and tell them what it is that they can or cannot do. And the problem now is, of course, that your healthcare proxy cannot do those things. And without special language in your healthcare proxy, you really are left alone. And what's terrible also is that usually the healthcare proxy is someone in your family. And so, as you know, families can't be with you either. So there's an emotional, there's a psychological, there's a medical distance that's created. And so what I began to think about is, well, what language can be inserted in a healthcare proxy that would, first of all, allow for the doctors, the hospitals to communicate with you telephonically or by other means, to accept, for instance, your signature on a fax machine or whatever electronic means there might be. And at the same time, hold the hospital and the medical professionals harmless from this decision, right? Because no one is going, as you know, Frank, no one is going to undertake this unless they know that there's no liability in it for them. So that's been really the challenge moving forward. And so what I did was I started with the clients that I knew were most vulnerable, right? So I know who my elderly clients are, who my clients are who have underlying conditions. And so what I did was I just, I started writing them and texting them saying, hey, I'm sending you a new document because I want you to be protected, right? I think that one of the things that attorneys can do now, I mean, I'm not deemed an essential worker in any way, shape, or form.
That's crazy. You're essential.
But I have skills that I can use to make people safe. And so that's what I've decided to do. I have decided, and so everyone who's listening knows, if you were to go to my website, you would see I decided to offer a $250 wills package with 5 documents in it, so that people who otherwise have nothing will have a simple will package to protect them, right?
So Sylvie, I put it down on the bottom of the screen, got your email address down there, email her, get your legal documents in order. I mean, amazing special package. Let me make sure I'm understanding this though. So in this crisis, your response has been, these documents are essential. Many people don't have them in order. And we're talking about, I guess, like an I love you will, like all to spouse kind of will, simple will, healthcare proxy, durable power of attorney, which would have the someone make financial decisions on your behalf, And that whole package you're doing for what now? How much?
$250.
That's crazy. You're
And
doing
and
such a service. Thank you.
I'm adding in a living will, which goes along with the healthcare proxy. And also, there's a form that is necessary by the health department. And that's an appointment of an agent for the disposal of your bodily remains. So if,
Yeah.
for instance, you or someone you love happens to die, in this case, we've all seen, the mobile morgues and all of these. They're horrors, really. And so, what can we do to make sure that you get a proper burial, that it meets your needs, religious and otherwise?
Sure.
And I think that is such a what I think one of the things we don't talk about is the emotional and psychological aspect of all of this. And there's such uncertainty. And so,
Sure.
my response has been, well, let's try and bring a little bit of certainty in people's lives.
Great. Thank you so much for that. So in addition to, right, there's two sides that you just hit, right? So the upfront work, what can I do to prepare for going into a situation where I need to have these documents executed, number one. And then unfortunately for some folks, we're going to have to deal with, the aftermath of
Yes.
a relative passing away, which, again, you said you're not essential. I mean, what's not essential with all the, the people that are passing right now of a trust and estates attorney for administration?
Yeah.
What's going on right now? Are the courts even, are the surrogates even open right now? How do we administer an estate right now?
So right now, I'm working with actually several people on people who died with wills or people who didn't. So what the courts are allowing you to do is to mail in your completed forms. However, there are several things, and I've been telling people. So, for instance, if you have a will and you want to copy it, you cannot unstaple it, right? Because then I have to do
Right.
a staple affidavit. There are just a number of like idiosyncratic rules that normally wouldn't come into play, but now are coming into play. So the courts will, if everything is in order, if you have all of your waivers, they will issue letters testamentary. Now, the issue, of course, is getting a death certificate, which
Sure.
which sounds like an easy thing, but in this time, it is not an
No.
easy thing.
Yeah.
So,
Completely understand.
so we're working hard to obtain things that ordinarily would go smoothly, but it's tough. I really encourage people to engage the services of an attorney, because this is not something. I mean, ordinarily people might try to do themselves, but right now I wouldn't try it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Sylvie. I got a question here, and then I'm going to move
Sure.
on. Thank you so much for your time. So the question I'm getting is about remote executions. So what are we doing right now as far as notarizing documents? How are we doing that?
So the governor has issued an executive order which allows us to do notarizations, and there's a procedure that he has outlined. And so it is possible to notarize documents. I have been notarizing documents. So, again, there are ways now that the governor has been very responsive in this area of allowing us to do notarizations. Otherwise, we've come to a complete standstill.
Great, thank you. So just before I close and move on, Sylvie, let me ask you this: what can I expect as far as a process? So I'll reach out to you. I want to get my whole will, power of attorney, healthcare proxy, the whole thing done. I would assume, so I'm gonna fill out an information sheet. You're gonna do a little bit of basic drafting. You're gonna send me a draft. We'll maybe have a phone call, talk about it, and then we can get to final edits and execution. If that's the
Yes,
process, about
that's the
how
process.
long in this digital world right now are we looking from start to finish? What do you think?
It really depends on the client, right? So much of it is how long it takes you to get things back to me. I will
I'm
do
kind of
as
available right now.
great, great.
A lot of
Then
people
we
are kind
can
of home.
work, you know.
I'm
Then
in the
this
bunker.
can, yeah, then this can happen fairly quickly. And I want it to
Okay,
happen very quickly
of
because,
course.
of the uncertainties. We just need to make sure that people are protected as quickly as possible.
Of course. Great. So Sylvie, thank you so much for coming on,
Thank
giving us
you.
this incredibly valuable information. I'm gonna leave the banner running across the screen there for a little while. If people are watching in replay, you can also leave comments. Both Sylvie and I will return to the broadcast on Facebook and on LinkedIn and answer questions. I'm having a little bit of trouble with bandwidth today, not really getting the live feed in on both platforms, but I am getting your comments, so that's good. So Sylvie, again, thanks so much for that great info. I'm
Thank you,
always
guys.
like to give a bonus to my community, and I think you did a great job today. So I will be in touch. Stay safe, wash
You
up,
too.
and I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye bye. All right, folks. I'm gonna take this off now that I don't have a guest. Give me 2 seconds. I should be able to. Okay. Don't have to hear a guest anymore. Assuming you guys are still hearing me, please somebody give me a yes or an I hear you or some kind of comment to make sure that I am still with the alternate audio, that you guys are now hearing me again. Anybody out there? All right, I think somebody might be out there. Yep, Wi-Fi is a disaster. Yep, Matt, but do you hear me right now that I took off the headset? LinkedIn feed's completely frozen. Yikes. All right, well, you know what? This is probably a good time to take a commercial break. No, I'm not kidding. So I had, as you guys know, I like to do videos. I have my Tip Tuesday, which is my LinkedIn video series. Ran its 29th consecutive episode on this Tuesday. Have a pretty good following. Oh, okay, really appreciate it. You guys are all saying yes, yes, yes. You can hear me. I did something a little different about 2 weeks ago. I did a video about what's going on in the insurance industry right now. People are freaking out a little bit, and I'm starting to get all serious on you guys on Saturday morning, talking about will power of attorney healthcare proxy. But I think this is equally important information for you to see. So I'm just going to run this for you right now.
Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Morizio. And while I'm usually out here giving you a business tip or some type of life hack, today I want to talk to you about something that I can do for you. It's very serious. Serious enough for me to put on a tuxedo. Well, not really. We've been on lockdown for 21 days. This was the last clean shirt in my closet, but my message still is very serious. I've been a life insurance professional for more than 20 years, and never in my career have I ever seen so much interest in obtaining life insurance. I can certainly understand why with what's going on out there. Here's how I can help you. I have several highly rated insurance carriers that are willing to offer you life insurance up to $2 million without any medical exam. That's right, no blood, no urine, no touching, just electronic underwriting, and then they will evaluate you. Of course, everybody won't qualify, but if you're at all concerned about this, you should call me, text me, or message me or email me right now so we can get the process started. Industry sources say there's been a major uptick in application activity. This Forbes article says that the window may be closing on this opportunity. Some insurance carriers have already started to slow down application activity and change their requirements for electronic underwriting. Now is the time to act. I promise I'll make the process simple for you. We'll start with a one-page review of the coverage you already have, and then I'll source the marketplace for something else that can help you. Today is the day to take action to protect your family.
All right, we're back. Honestly, not even sure if you guys saw that. Stream is just really locked up on my end. I can still see some folks in the thread. So I'm going to close LinkedIn altogether. The stream will stay up, but I'm not going to be able to interact on LinkedIn at all anymore. It's just frozen. The Facebook feed seems to be working just a little bit better. Let me see what else we got going on here. So, I mean, listen, you guys just saw the video, 2 minutes. People have been panic buying life insurance. I certainly don't blame them. 20 some odd years in this industry, and I've never seen so much volume, so much desire and need for life insurance. People are very, very concerned right now. It has created some panic buying, as the Forbes article said. Some carriers are now limiting the types of applications that they're willing to look at, but I can help you. Just give me a call, text, message, email, get in touch with me. I can certainly help you review your current coverage. All right, so what else is going on out there this week? Something really, really big happened this week, and for those of you that have been tuning into Corona Chronicles, you've been following along, and my Long Island Business Association, called Long Island Elite, www.longislandelite.com, we decided to create the LIE COVID-19 Healthcare Workers Relief Fund. We started the fund with a $10,000 contribution from our membership, and we've been raising money ever since. Well, we had the opportunity this week to make our first purchase, and what we did was we purchased, who's texting me? Okay. We purchased $10,000 worth of hand sanitizer that was manufactured right here on Long Island at Long Island Spirits. They usually manufacture LIV, Long Island vodka. They manufacture whiskey and liqueurs and some gin. If you know me, you know I'm allergic to gin. I break out in handcuffs and misdemeanors, so please keep the gin away from me. Having said that, they completely revamped their operations to start to produce medical grade sanitizer almost immediately. We were able to, one of our members was able to actually drive out to their distillery in Baiting Hollow, pick up a $10,000 order, which was a couple of hundred cases. And we delivered them to Good Samaritan Hospital in West Islip and to Mount Sinai, South Nassau, right here in my hometown of Oceanside. Both of those hospital systems are members of our organization. So we wanted to focus on having the maximum amount of impact that we certainly could have at once. And it was just really amazing. Just what a great experience. I'm so happy to be able, to be on the team that delivered that sanitizer. One of the hospital executives said that's probably in this time, probably about a month's worth of supply of sanitizer. Reason why he felt it was really important, because you don't really hear sanitizer on the top of the list of PPE. With $10,000, we're not going to get the correct masks at the right price. We're not going to get the right gowns, but Long Island Distillery is providing this medical grade sanitizer at a very reasonable price. It's available right on their patio. You don't have to make $5,000 or $10,000 orders. You can buy, I believe they have a 4-pack of 16-ounce bottles for about $65. You can drive out there, no need to call. They'll come right out on the patio and you can buy it completely touchless. So one of the hospital executives said that, the reason having sanitizer and some of this other equipment is important to the healthcare workers is it's for their psyche. They're anxious enough going in and out of the hospital with 60 to 70% of the patients in the hospital COVID positive. Knowing and feeling secure that the proper equipment and sanitizer and cleaning materials and gloves and masks and gowns and caps and booties and everything they need to keep them as safe as possible, knowing that is on hand at the hospital, there's no shortage, is really good for their psyche. Really, it's bringing their anxiety level down, at least from that particular thing, a lot. So as you can see, I went, changed the banner down on the bottom of the screen. So the LIE Healthcare Workers Relief Fund is open, is still, oh, I spelled relief wrong. Look at that. Where is it? Here it comes. Yep, I'm fired. I got to redo that. The fund is open, still accepting donations. I think we have we've raised about $13,000 total. If you get on your phone right now, text LIEPPE to the number 44321. You'll immediately get the link right to the page. 100% of your contribution is tax deductible, and 100% of that contribution is going directly to purchase whatever the next equipment is that the hospital system tells us they need, and that we can get readily available and deliverable in a reasonable time frame. So if you can be so generous, I know a lot of people are hurting out there, not working, laid off, furloughed. If you are in a position where you can make a contribution, I mean, $20 buys, I don't know, I think 2 bottles of sanitizer. So if you could make any contribution at all, text LIEPPE to 44321 right now. I'm going to leave that running on the screen. I'm a little bit over 30 minutes right now. I usually try to keep it to 30. But I think I had some, Sylvie was such a great guest, had such important and timely information for us today. So I'm going to run a little bit over. I hope you guys give me that leeway. Do apologize for I'm not really sure what this is looking like on your end. It's frozen up on both my screens right now. I know it's going out because my platform says I am live. So you are seeing this in some way, shape, or form. Somebody's giving me a thumbs up there, so you must still be seeing it. I'm really not able to interact too much with your comments because they're just not coming in live. The LinkedIn feed is completely down right now. Facebook, I still see some of you. So let me see who else we have out there. My Marine Corps brother, Brian Downs, is out there as always. My man. Who else is out there? Maria Sanchez. Yeah. Yep. Allergic to gin. You like that story. You've never heard that story from me? All right. So I guess we haven't been drinking enough. Eva's out there. Hey, Eva. Oh, I'm looking good. Thank you very much. I haven't seen you in about, I don't know, I'm going to go with about 30 years. But thanks for saying that. I know you're just being nice. Ed Cologne's out there always. Ed was trying to cue me in as a remote producer there, letting me know I'm on in 3, 2, 1. Great. Steve Bonfa had to run back to the kids. Jose's out there, another Marine Corps brother. All right, so you know what? I think, Eileen's out there, and Joe is out there too. Hey, Joe, I hope you're doing well, buddy. I know you were having some health issues a while back. Glad to know that from Eileen that you're recovering. So congrats on that. Really, happy about that. Andrew Janisic just jumped in. My man, Andrew, how you doing? Andrew, if you haven't yet, text LIEPPE to 44321 and make a contribution to our fund so we can buy some more equipment for those hospital and healthcare workers. I'm kind of out of topics for the day, guys. I think that'd probably do it from here. If anybody has anything that you want me to talk about next week, please let me know. I'd be happy to do that. If anybody ever wants to come on the air with me, doesn't have to be a serious subject. Like Sylvie talked about today, you could just come on the air, broadcast from your cell phone. I put you right in the stream like I did with Sylvie, and we can just talk. It's good. Would be good to see your face. You get to see mine. Sorry, I'd rather see yours, but everybody can see us together, and it's kind of fun. So I'd love to have a guest. If anybody wants to get on with me, please just text me, email me, leave a comment, something like that, and we'll do that. And if I don't check in with the community before then, I will see you next Saturday, 12 noon, Corona Chronicles. By then, it'll be lockdown day 40. Yikes. All right, guys. Hope you have a great day. Hope everybody's staying safe, staying healthy. I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast now. Have a great day. Bye-bye.